is part 2 of my interview with Adolph Reed, in which he says that free higher education for everyone means everyone.
Right. Whenever we talk to workers about it, they think this is just the greatest thing in the world. And hey, yeah, I mean, this would be great for my kids, but you know, but it's not just about my kids. If I could do it, you know, myself, you know, without having to pay, I'd want to go to school.
Right.
And in some cases, it's, you know, to go to school to get a new career or a job upgrade. And in a lot of cases, it's simply just to learn, right? Having to broaden your horizons. You know, one of the real ironies of the last 25 years or so is the way that the right has been able to define, you know, the stereotype of what working people are and what working class consciousness is, with this Joe Sixpack imagery and Archie Bunker stuff. In fact, you know, we're all workers, right? You know, we all want the same things. Everybody wants the same things, has the same concerns. Wants to you know, experiment, to challenge, you know, themselves, you know, to broaden their minds. I think that's yet another reason I think that this is. It is an organic outgrowth of what we've been fighting for in the labor movement from the very beginning. This is bread and roses, and a few books. You know what? This may be the last time in your life that you're able just to let your mind wander and run and to pursue fanciful interests just because they strike you as engaging. And you know, we think that this is part of what makes us human beings. I mean, like, we're all workers. There are very, very few of us who aren't. You know, the white-collar, blue-collar distinction is a bogus one, of course. A sabbatical program for all working people. I just think that everybody ought to have 1 year off in 7, just to do whatever they want to do. If they want to sit on the beach or take a Rachel Ray course or travel the globe or do astrophysics, right? You know, the all working people ought to be able to do that. And when Weld was governor of Massachusetts, he'd appointed some right-wing nut insurance man as the state commissioner of education, and this guy launched a two-prong attack against K through PhD public education. K through 12 was high-stakes testing. And for post-secondary, it was like trading on the stereotype that treats every, you know, that presumes that every faculty member is an endowed chair holder at MIT, rather than taking up the defensive response, showing how hard we work, and we said yes. You know, we think all workers should have a sabbatical. We think. You know, we call for a 4-day, 32-hour work week, right? And a mandatory.
Long overdue.
Yes, no, absolutely. And the pendulum is going the other direction. And a mandatory minimum of 20 vacation days every year. What's happened to progressive politics and to liberalism in America is, among other things, defeatist in the sense that it built on a conviction that people in the heartland of the country or in the South are hopelessly backward. I had to do a lot of traveling in Northwest Arkansas and Central Illinois and downstate Indiana, Baltimore, South Carolina, in the first couple of months after the September 11th attacks. And I was struck you know, to see that, well, you could find as much fear and xenophobia out there as you want to. You can always find it, but there's nowhere near, you know, the kind of rabid, you know, go kill them, you know, perspective that people from the urbane, you know, cosmopolitan centers imagine that there would be. It's partly because, you know, those places have become a lot more diverse than people think, but it's also partly because whose kids and husbands and the wives were going to have to impose this new world order. And I can remember talking to a Walmart clerk in Fayetteville, Arkansas, which is like, Vatican, Walmart, who was anxious about the pending invasion of Afghanistan. Why? Well, partly because the World Trade Center attacks had shown we were vulnerable. Partly also because of who has to pay the freight for this kind of stuff. I mean,